what changes, aside from the drug court, you've mentioned that you're going to create a drug court, but what changes would you make if elected to the bench?
Well, the first thing I'm absolutely going to change is the scheduling system. I see that the cases need to come through at a much faster pace. As cases are currently scheduled, when an offender is arrested and appears before the court for an arraignment, traditionally the second court hearing isn't for 2 or 3 months. And I see that as a problem on many levels. One, I see that as an attorney who represents these offenders, I see immediately that the offender feels no consequences for the behavior that caused them to be arrested. Then whatever did lead to their criminal offense, was it mental health issues, was it drug or alcohol issues, whatever it was, we're not addressing those issues in a timely manner. We pushed them off for 2 or 3 months. So now that offender is most likely in the community, continuing on that behavior, whether they get caught for new offenses or not, they're out there doing it. And because of that type of scheduling, we vastly increase the likelihood that the offender does not appear. And I believe that leads to the large number of failure to appears that municipal court suffers from. And those in turn leads to a waste of our law enforcement resources and hunting these people down and serving them on their warrants. So under my scheduling system, everybody's going to come back for their second court hearing no later than 10 days from their first. And I know how to set up this type of system because I used to practice in a county where all the courts were scheduled under this type of scheduling system. When I first started my career as a young lawyer in Stark County, Ohio, all of the municipal courts, as well as the common pleas courts, which were far busier courts than even the incredible dockets that we experience here in this county, they had that type of system. Whereas each judge had a designated criminal pretrial day. I like to call it block scheduling. A lot of courts call it a criminal pretrial call day. But that day was completely designated to those cases. So when an offender came and appeared for the arraignment and entered a plea of not guilty and assigned to a particular judge, that first pretrial was set at the very next day that particular judge had his criminal pretrial day. And cases just flowed at a much faster pace. And we addressed issues immediately. Because, it's not always issues concerning the offender's behavior. Evidence doesn't last forever either. Witnesses move, memories fade. Videotapes and store surveillance systems, they get erased over. So we need to have cases come through at a much faster pace so we can address the needs of the offenders, so we can effectuate behavior, and we can protect evidence issues. Because if somebody, entitled to a trial, wants a trial, we want to make sure that the evidence is in the best position for both of the parties.
Now, you mentioned your focus has been in the criminal realm, which is clearly the largest part of the docket here of this court. But there's also a civil component here, and you had mentioned civil suits where the amount in controversy was under $15,000, landlord-tenant type issues. Would you have a similar system as far as on the docking of these cases to make them go in a faster process than what currently occurs? I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Well, my immediate concern is the criminal. Because I can tell you, as of October 9th of this year, as to the filings of 2015 in the municipal court docket, there was 499 civil cases filed, but there was 2,217 criminal cases filed to that date. So really, the immediate necessity is being more efficient with the criminal docket, and then we can move from there.
What would you say to someone, though, with a civil case here? Why should their case have to play second fiddle to the criminal docket?
By changing our system the criminal system to a call day, we're going to alleviate a lot of other time on other days. Cases are going to be able to be, civil cases are going to be able to be also, in turn, scheduled at a much faster pace because we're not Since we're designating one day to criminal pretrials and designating other days to other matters such as the trials and to preliminary hearings, that's going to alleviate a lot of time and scheduling. So civil cases can be scheduled at a much faster pace as well.